DuoTale English.
where every story teaches you English. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DuoTale English. I am Lena.
And this is episode 30, which is, I cannot believe I am saying this, our 30th episode. 30, Marcus, that is significant. And I am Marcus. 30 episodes. And I want to take a moment and say, genuinely, thank you. Thank you to every single person who has listened to one episode, or 5, or all 30. Thank you to everyone who has written in the comments. You are the reason this exists, and we are just getting started.
We really are just getting started. And for episode 30, our landmark episode, we have chosen the most foundational skill in all of English learning. Not speaking, not grammar, not vocabulary, listening. Because everything in language starts with listening. You cannot speak what you have not heard. Listening is the gateway to everything.
And so many English learners, even advanced ones, struggle with listening. Not because they lack vocabulary, but because listening in a real English context, with real pace, real accents, real connected speech, is genuinely different from the clean, slow, carefully enunciated English of most learning materials.
And today, episode 30, is our complete guide to improving your English listening skills. 5 concrete steps, real practice built into the episode, word expert segment with 12 vocabulary words, and a special reflection on 30 episodes of DuoTale English. We upload every single day. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Let us begin.
Listening is a skill. Like all skills, it responds very specifically to the type of practice you give it. Passive listening, having English on in the background, improves passive listening, but not the same as being able to understand a fast, natural conversation with a real person in real time.
And the gap between what most learners understand when they read English and what they understand when they hear English, that gap is enormous. You can read a newspaper comfortably, and then someone speaks English at natural pace, and you catch perhaps 40%, because spoken English is fundamentally different from written English.
Words blend. Sounds disappear. Sentences change direction midway. Accents add variation. Today's story, Sofia. She is 30 years old and from Colombia. She has been learning English for 8 years. Reading and writing are strong, but when she is in a meeting with English-speaking colleagues, she often understands about half of what they say. The other half is a fast, blended, accent-inflected blur, and she fills in the gaps by reading the room, nodding in the right places even when she hasn't quite followed. A performance of understanding, good enough that nobody notices, except her.
The specific things that most often catch her: connected speech patterns where words blend, reduced forms, gonna, wanna, shoulda, which she knows as individual words but does not recognize at speed, and different accents, particularly strong regional accents from the UK.
And Sofia has tried to improve. She watches English films, listens to English music, subscribes to podcasts, but her improvement is slow because she is consuming English content, not practicing a skill. There is a critical difference between consuming and practicing. One is passive, the other is active.
5 steps to better English listening. Step 1, active listening with a specific focus. Every time you listen to English content, set one listening goal. On the first listen, listen for the main idea only, not the details, not the vocabulary, just what is this about? On the second listen, listen for specific details, names, numbers, key facts. On the third listen, listen for language, for phrases, for how things were said. 3 different listens, 3 different focuses.
The starting point, general understanding, is important because it builds the frame, the context that makes details meaningful. When you know what something is generally about, the specific words become much easier to catch. Context is everything in listening.
Sofia applied this to her work podcasts and English news. First listen, main idea only. Second, key details. Third, language and phrases. After 2 weeks, her first listen comprehension was already improving. Her brain was learning to extract the frame faster.
Step 2. Shadow speak immediately after listening. You listen to a sentence, You pause, you say the sentence out loud exactly as you heard it, imitating not just the words, but the rhythm, the pace, the intonation, the stress, the way it sounded.
The reason this improves listening is the more familiar your mouth is with how English sounds and flows, the faster your ears can recognize it. Athletes who play a sport understand the movements they are watching better than spectators because their body knows those movements from the inside. Shadowing gives you that insider knowledge of English sounds.
Shadow us right now. Follow DuoTale English, half a second behind. Imitate our rhythm and our sound.
Step 3. Use the transcript strategically. You listen first without the transcript. Try to understand as much as you can. Note the moments you didn't follow. And then, after listening, use the transcript to check specifically those moments. What was that phrase? How was that pronounced? What did I miss? And why?
Understanding why you missed something is the key to not missing it next time. Unfamiliar vocabulary? Learn the word. Words blending. Practice that specific blending. Function word reduced to almost nothing. Train yourself to expect those reductions. Sofia discovered the majority of her gaps were connected speech and reduced forms, not vocabulary. So the solution was not more word study, it was more exposure to natural, fast, connected speech, a completely different practice target.
Step 4. Expand your accent exposure deliberately. English is spoken by more non-native speakers than native speakers globally, and most learning materials use 1 or 2 very standard, clear, slow accents, which doesn't prepare you for the real acoustic variety of English in the world. Regularly expose yourself to accents you find difficult. American, British, Australian, Indian, Nigerian, Singaporean. The variety itself is the training. Breadth of exposure builds flexibility.
Step 5. Practice under real conditions. Most learners practice in ideal conditions. Headphones, quiet room, full attention, perfect audio. But real life is a noisy restaurant, a meeting with poor acoustics, a phone call with a weak connection. Deliberately practice under conditions that are less than ideal. Train yourself to extract meaning even when your full attention is not available, because in real conversations, it never is.
Sofia, 3 months later. First change, in meetings, she started catching the general thread more consistently. The frame was forming faster. Second change, she stopped performing comprehension. She could say, "Sorry, could you say that again? I didn't quite catch the last part," with confidence, because asking for clarification is not a sign of poor English. It's a sign of genuine engagement.
And the third change, the most significant, her processing speed had increased. She was catching phrases faster. The gap between hearing and understanding had shortened, and she described it. English used to feel like watching a film through a foggy window. I could see shapes and movement, but never quite clearly. Now the window has been cleaned. Not perfectly, there are still some smudges, but so much clearer, and I can see the detail that I was missing before.
Common mistakes to avoid. Mistake 1, only listening to very clear, slow, standard English. Comfortable, but limiting. You need to gradually introduce more natural, faster, more varied content as your level increases. Mistake 2, listening without a task or focus. Passive consumption has some benefit, but low efficiency. The question before every session, what specifically am I practicing today?
Mistake 3, never listening to the same content twice. The second and third listens are where deeper processing happens. Repeated listening is multi-layer processing, qualitatively different results. Mistake 4, avoiding difficult content. The stretching happens at the edge of your comprehension, slightly beyond comfortable, where you have to work. That's where listening growth lives.
Mistake 5, never practicing under the real conditions you need to perform in.
5 practices you can start today. Practice 1. Re-listen to this episode right now with a focus on language and connected speech. Shadow us for 30 seconds at a time. Practice 2. Find 2 minutes of English audio. Listen 3 times with different focuses. Note 1 phrase. Use it today.
Practice 3. Shadow for 3 minutes. Set a timer. Follow any English audio half a second behind. Practice 4. Watch 2 minutes of English video without subtitles, then with English subtitles only. Note what you missed and why. Practice 5. Have a real English conversation today. Even 2 minutes, even in the comments below. Write something. We'll respond.
Episode 30 Reflection. 30 episodes, 30 conversations, 30 stories. Hundreds of shadowing sentences. And through all of it, an attempt to give you not just English knowledge, but English experience. Real language about real life, used the way real people actually use it.
And if you've been with us from anywhere along the way, I want to say something directly. Your English today is better than it was before you found DuoTale English. Not because of us, because of you. Because you showed up. Because you listened. Because you did the shadowing. Because you wrote in the comments. Because you kept coming back. And those days accumulated, and they built something.
Thank you, from both of us, from the bottom of both of our hearts. Now, word expert.
Word 1, comprehension, the ability to understand something. Improving listening comprehension requires active, focused, consistent practice. Say it. My listening comprehension is improving.
Word 2, connected speech. How words blend and change when spoken naturally. Understanding connected speech is one of the biggest challenges for intermediate learners. Say it. I practice connected speech every day.
Word 3, intonation, the rise and fall of the voice, the melody of speech. Misreading someone's intonation can completely change your understanding of their meaning. Say it. I pay attention to intonation.
Word 4, inference. Reaching a conclusion from indirect evidence, understanding what is not explicitly said. Strong listeners use inference. They fill comprehension gaps using context and knowledge. Say it. I use inference when I miss words.
Word 5, fluency. In listening, the ability to process spoken language in real time without significant delays. Listening fluency requires its own specific training. Say it. I am building my listening fluency.
Word 6, accent. The distinctive way of pronouncing language from a particular region or country. Expanding accent exposure is critical for developing robust listening comprehension. Say it. I expose myself to many different English accents.
Word 7, dictation, writing down exactly what you hear. A listening training technique. Regular dictation practice improves listening accuracy because it forces precise attention to every word. Say it. I practice dictation to sharpen my listening.
Word 8, context clues. Surrounding information that helps you understand what you missed. Even when she missed words, she used context clues to reconstruct the meaning. Say it. I use context clues like a detective.
Word 9, active listening, full, attentive, engaged listening with a conscious goal. Active listening involves not just hearing the words, but noticing emotion, subtext, and emphasis. Say it. I practice active listening every session.
Word 10, processing speed, the rate at which your brain decodes and understands spoken language. After 3 months of practice, Sofia's processing speed had increased noticeably. Say it. My processing speed is getting faster.
Word 11, auditory, relating to the sense of hearing. Developing auditory familiarity with English connected speech takes consistent, targeted practice. Say it. I am developing my auditory skills.
Word 12, proficiency, the degree of skill across all 4 language skills. True English proficiency requires balanced development across reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Say it. I am building balanced English proficiency.
Shadowing practice, the episode 30 edition. Repeat after me 3 times each.
I am training my ears to understand English at natural speed. Say it. I listen actively, not just passively. I have a specific goal for every session. Say it. I use context clues when I miss a word. I keep going and figure it out. Say it. Shadowing English out loud trains both my listening and my speaking at the same time. Say it. I listen to English with different accents to build flexibility and real-world comprehension. Say it. When I miss something in a conversation, I ask clearly, "Could you repeat that, please?" Say it. My listening comprehension is improving because I practice deliberately every day. Say it. I listen to the same content more than once. Each time I notice something new. Say it. Real listening happens at natural speed, so I practice with natural speed content. Say it. 30 episodes of DuoTale English and I am a different English learner than I was. Say it. I am not just consuming English, I am actively training my ears every single day. Say it. Every time I listen carefully, I am building the proficiency I am working towards. Say it.
That is episode 30. Our question, tell us something you have learned from DuoTale English. Any episode, any word expert, any moment where something clicked. Write it in the comments in English. 30 episodes deserve 30 stories from our community. We read every comment. We reply every day.
We upload every day. Episode 31 is already coming tomorrow. Thank you, sincerely, deeply, genuinely, for being part of DuoTale English. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Happy episode 30. What an incredible journey. Bye, Marcus.
Bye, Lena. Bye, everyone. Your English is better today than it was 30 episodes ago. Keep going. See you tomorrow.